Take a deep breath asterisk. Close your eyes. Can you remember the last time you held a tomato, not wrapped in plastic, not chilled to silence, but warm from the sun, when its skin still carried the scent of rain, and the first bite burst like a secret whispered by the earth? We've been taught that convenience is progress, that frozen berries shipped across continents are just as good as those picked yesterday, that nutrition is a number on a label, calories, sugar, fiber, measured in cold, clinical terms. But what if the real medicine isn't in the data, but in the present? What if food that still breathes, that was grown within miles of your home, harvested by hands that know its name, carries something science is only beginning to understand? A deeper vitality, a quiet resilience, a kind of aliveness that no warehouse can replicate. In the next 15 minutes, you'll discover how farmers markets don't just sell food, they restore connection. They nourish more than your body. They heal the quiet loneliness inside us that supermarkets never noticed was missing. Breathe in. Slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the air around you soften. You're not just watching a video tonight. You're stepping into a field at dawn, and the earth is waiting to speak. Long before refrigerators hummed in silent kitchens, before fluorescent lights replaced sunrise, humans gathered where the land offered its gifts, under open skies, beside rustling trees, in squares where voices mingled with the scent of basil and ripe peaches. In the American Midwest, native communities traded wild strawberries and smoked venison beneath oaks older than any church steeple. In New England, colonial women bartered eggs for dried lavender, knowing its calm carried farther than any pill. In the South, Black farmers preserved heirloom seeds through generations, not as commodities, but as ancestors' whispers in fruit form. These weren't markets. They were ceremonies. Each vegetable, each herb, each egg carried stories. The kale knew the hands that planted it. The honey remembered the flowers the bees kissed. The bread, baked in clay ovens, still held the warmth of wood smoke and prayer. There's poetry in this exchange, not transactional. Food wasn't bought. It was received. And when we gather at farmers markets today, even if just once a week, we aren't merely shopping. We're remembering. We're relearning how to listen. To the soil. To the seasons. To the quiet truth that food, grown with care, doesn't just feed the body. It feeds the soul's forgotten hunger for belonging. A farmer doesn't just grow carrots. She grows trust. And trust, in its purest form, is the oldest medicine there is. Science is finally catching up to what our grandparents always knew. A landmark 2016 study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that produce from local farmers markets contained significantly higher levels of antioxidants, up to 40% more in some fruits and vegetables compared to supermarket equivalents. Why? Because local crops are often harvested at peak ripeness. They're not bred for shelf life. They're not sprayed with post-harvest preservatives to delay decay. They travel less than 50 miles, sometimes less than. 5. Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health noted in a 2020 review that diets rich in freshly harvested, minimally processed foods are linked to lower systemic inflammation, a root driver of chronic disease. Another 2021 study from the University of Illinois tracked gut microbiome diversity in participants who switched from supermarket produce to weekly farmers market purchases. After just 8 weeks, their microbial richness increased, meaning better digestion, stronger immunity, improved mood regulation. And here's something profound. Produce from farmers markets retains higher levels of polyphenols, plant compounds that act as natural antioxidants because they're not exposed to prolonged cold storage or ethylene gas treatments used to artificially extend freshness. Even vitamin C degrades rapidly after harvest. One study showed spinach loses nearly half its vitamin C within 7 days in cold storage. At a farmer's market, it's often picked 24 hours prior. This isn't marketing. It's biology. Food that moves slowly from soil to plate preserves its living energy. It doesn't just contain nutrients. It carries intent. The soil remembers the sun. The plant remembers the rain. And when you eat it, you remember too. So, how do you honor this? It's not complicated. Find your nearest farmer's market. Walk there. If you can. Let your feet feel the pavement. Let your nose guide you. Start with one thing. Just one. Maybe it's a bunch of purple stem kale, still damp with morning dew, or a jar of raw honey, golden and trembling with pollen. Perhaps a single ear of corn, sweet, crisp, so fresh the kernels pop like tiny jewels. At home, prepare it slowly. Don't rush. Wash the greens under cool water, not just to clean, but to connect. Feel the texture. Notice the color. Deep emerald, almost glowing. Place them in a wooden bowl. Drizzle with cold pressed olive oil, the kind that tastes green and grassy. Sprinkle sea salt from a hand ground mill. Add a squeeze of lemon from a tree in your neighbor's yard. No microwave. No plastic wrap. Let the food breathe. If you're making tea from mint or chamomile bought at the stall, steep it for 10 minutes. Not because science says so. But because your soul needs the pause. Light a candle. Sit by a window. Listen. Let the steam rise like incense. Some say the ritual is the remedy, and perhaps it is. Combine your market finds simply. Roast beets with thyme. Toss strawberries with a pinch of black pepper. Yes, pepper to awaken their flavor and boost absorption. Drizzle apple cider vinegar over greens, a tradition older than refrigeration, known to aid digestion and balance blood sugar. Eat slowly. Chew well. Say thank you out loud or in your heart. This isn't dieting. This is devotion. Nature is powerful. Honor her strength with respect. While farmers market food is generally safer, fewer pesticides, no synthetic additives, awareness remains vital. Avoid consuming wild foraged items unless you're certain of identification. Some mushrooms, berries, and herbs can be deadly if misidentified, even if they look natural. Pregnant individuals should consult a provider before consuming. Unpasteurized cheeses or raw sprouts, common at markets but carrying low-risk pathogens. Those on blood thinners should monitor intake of. Leafy greens high in vitamin K, kale, collards, arugula, as they may interact with medications like warfarin. But here's where synergy sings. Garlic plus honey. Studies from the University of Maryland show this duo enhances antimicrobial activity, a natural defense system passed down through centuries. Turmeric plus freshly grown black pepper. Piperini in black pepper boosts curcumin absorption by over 2,000%. Buy whole peppercorns at the market. Grind them yourself. The difference is alive. Apple cider vinegar plus raw honey. A traditional tonic for immune support and gut balance, backed by research. From Oregon State University on prebiotic effects. Always ask your vendor. How was this grown? Was it treated? When was it picked? Their answers matter more than any labeled dot. And if you ever feel unsure, trust your intuition. Your body knows what feels true. When food comes from a person you've met, someone who names their goats, remembers your name, and smiles when you return, you're not just eating cleaner food. You're eating with integrity. And integrity is the most potent nutrient of all. Close your eyes now. Breathe in and out. Feel the weight of your day settling, like dust on an old windowsill. Now imagine walking barefoot along a dirt path at dawn. The air is cool. A light mist clings to the grass. Bird song rises, not from speakers, but from real trees. Ahead, a wooden table, draped in linen. Baskets overflow. Red tomatoes, still warm. Clusters of purple grapes, heavy with dew, herbs tied with twine. Rosemary, sage, lemon balm, their fragrance curling into the breeze. A woman with calloused hands smiles as she places a bundle of chard in your arms. "You're here," she says. "It's good to see you." You carry it home. In your kitchen. You wash the leaves. Water runs over them, clear, quiet, cleansing. You place them on a wooden board. Sunlight spills through the window. You chop slowly. The knife meets the stem. Crunch. A sound so simple, so sacred. You heat a pan. Just a whisper of olive oil. The leaves sizzle, soft, sweet, alive. You taste, not to fill, not to distract, just to feel. The bitterness dissolves, the sweetness lingers, and in that moment, you are not alone. You are part of a cycle older than cities, older than supermarkets. You are connected to the soil that held the seed, to the rain that woke it, to the hands that tended it, to the sun that kissed it awake. And now you are holding it. Not as a product, but as a gift. Breathe again. Let the quiet settle into your bones. You are fed, not just by food, by presence, by peace, by the gentle, stubborn miracle of things that grow, and the people who still remember how to give them to you. Farmers markets aren't just places to buy food. They're sanctuaries of reciprocity, where science confirms what the soul has always known. Real food is alive, and being near it, touching it, tasting it, honoring it, reconnects us to the rhythms we were meant to. Live. It lowers inflammation. It strengthens immunity. It heals the gut. It quiets the mind. And above all, it reminds us we are not separate from nature. We are part of it. May the spirit of this earth wrap around you like a blanket woven from moonlight and stillness. If this quiet revolution stirred something in you, share it with someone who needs to remember what food truly is. Leave a comment below. What's the first thing you'll buy at your next farmer's market? A peach, a loaf of sourdough, a handful of wildflowers. And if this moment served you, subscribe. Because next week we meet the fire of turmeric, the root that turns pain into power. And the spice that remembers how to heal. Until then, breathe slow. Eat close. Stay rooted. This content is for educational purposes only. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare provider before making significant dietary changes, especially if you are pregnant, nursing, taking medication, or have a medical condition.